Panther Nation, get ready to hear it straight from the source. A new voice, a new vision, a new era in Prairie View A&M University football has arrived. The Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. I'm your host, Karl Mays, and every week this fall, I will be sitting down with head coach Tremaine Jackson, along with student co-host Jalen J.C. Cole, to bring you exclusive insight, game breakdowns, and powerful conversations straight from the Hill. Catch every episode on the PVAMU Athletics YouTube channel starting August 22nd at 12 noon and dropping weekly throughout the football season. So subscribe now, smash that bell icon, and be the first to hear the coach himself. He'll be raw, he'll be real, and ready for the spotlight. This is the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. Hey, listen, I just want to say welcome back. That's right. Week 3 of the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, the second week of game week. Man, we are here. My name is Karl Mays. That's right, your host of the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, along with my co-host, my student co-host, Jalen J.C. Cole in the building. And definitely to my right is the man of the hour. He's always on time. Don't ask no questions. Yeah, Tremaine Jackson. That's right, y'all. Coach Jackson. Listen, I'm going to jump right out there because first I just want to make sure I let people know, Panther Nation, you should feel some kind of way. Because we are different from last week, because last week we were 0-0. This week, we 1-0. JC, how you feel about that?
We're 1-0, baby. We're coming off of such high energy at the Panther on the Hill. But it's time to reset, regroup, and refocus. We got a big game coming up. Home opener. That's really big. Can't wait to pack out the stands in our gold.
That's it. That's right. And we're gonna make sure we jump into it because we gotta recap just a little bit because we got a few things we want to talk about. But before we do that, I want to make sure I say, as always, big thanks to our show sponsors, Mustang Cat and Houston Methodist, along with Boy 5015. Shout out to everybody that's in here as our live studio audience. Y'all can make some noise. Let people know y'all in the building. So we just want to make sure we get a chance to do that. But I definitely want to say, Coach, it's good to see you, man. You smiling. Yeah. I know we want to make sure we talk about something. JC, you want to hit him with a question about the recap of last week?
Yeah, so there was definitely some game-shifting moments, but what was the view from your sideline? What can we expect coming up, and just what is your assessment of y'all's performance?
Yeah, we certainly not where we want to be. It was game 1. You're talking about 73 new guys walking out there together for the first time, playing in a game environment. And I don't care what coaches say. No matter how much you try to simulate it in practice, there's nothing like being in the game. And then when you add the delays on top of it that happened, first time I ever coached a game where the kickers didn't warm up. We just had, hey, you got 30 minutes to go out here and warm up and get it in. And so a lot of things happened. Headsets went out during the game.
Wow.
Didn't have headsets in the first half. Had to fight the broadcast people about where we were in the box upstairs. A lot of things that people don't know, but in spite of, our guys came out on top, and they were really calm through it, and I was really proud of that.
They say the character of a man or a woman is defined by how they respond to adversity.
Yeah.
You had a lot of adverse moments. I particularly want to take you somewhere. It was 1 minute and 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We're down by 5. We got the ball, got a penalty, bagged us back to the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Coach, at that moment, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, we got to try to get a first down. And if we can get a first down, it'll get us in rhythm. And so the next thing, the 1B in my mind was don't get another penalty. We got to make sure we don't get another penalty.
Was the thing that was happening?
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, we had 8 penalties.
Yes.
We went into the fourth quarter tied 7-7 at penalties. And in the fourth quarter, I guess we were the only ones that were committing penalties because we were the only ones that got called in the fourth quarter. So, again, if we could have got a first down, I felt real good about it. And so we just put the best play together and sent the offense out there.
Yeah. The best thing in the world is Cam did his thing. I know they say some of your best players you don't recognize it until you see how they respond to what they're up against.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the things we know, the game was tied 14-14 for quite some time. And then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, we looked up and we had a great thing happen. As a safety.
Yep.
And for that matter, the sense of urgency didn't show on either side until they were up against the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Once that happened, this is when we were going to see the difference between those who were really, really getting it in during summer camp and fall camp and those who were just being, right?
Right.
The one thing I want to know is, how did you feel about, because I think Cam was the player of the game? Was he?
Yeah.
He was player of the game. How did you feel about the way he responded?
Yeah, well, so Rodney Ojo was the player of the game for us. Internally,
right. Okay.
Cam did win a Player of the Week award and some other publications.
Okay.
But, that dude has been through it.
Yeah.
That dude stood on the podium with me afterwards and talked about what all he battled throughout his career.
Wow.
Well, we knew that internally. He decided to say that publicly. And so I remember very vividly in the spring, I was about 1 day from making him a receiver. I said, man, if this dude don't play better at quarterback, he's going to be a wideout because he's a really good athlete.
He's a good athlete.
He's a big, tall guy, and he can run. And me and him got into it in the rain one night in spring ball. It was pouring down raining, and we got into it because he threw his hands up. And I think that's not a sign of great leadership. And so it was a teachable moment for him. And from that day on, it clicked for him, and he ended up beating some guys out and being a good quarterback. And then when he got in the game, we knew what he was made from. And so when you know what somebody's made from, when you know what you put them through and what they've come out on the other side of,
that's good.
Then we had great confidence in it.
That's good. I think you explained that extremely well. When you think about, especially these young people, they go through a lot of things personally.
Yep.
And you can, correlate the personal challenges that they may have to also the things that they may run into on the field.
Yep.
And how they respond will say a lot about them even after football is over.
I think the cool thing, too, about Cam is he would tell you it's his teammates. He would tell you that Rodney Ojo is a guy. He would tell you that the offensive line did a really good job.
They did do.
So his name came up, but he's quick to pass the situation on to the other guys and to the rest of the collective, the defense, scoring on defense. We don't score on defense. We probably still over there playing.
Huh.
You know what I mean? A week later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so those guys that, he's been really good about the quarterback comes with certain things.
That's right.
You get credit and blame, right? You got to treat criticism
That's
and
right.
compliments the same. He's been really good about passing the credit on to others, and that's how we know we got a good one.
Yeah, because ultimately it's a team sport, right? I mean, you can have great athletes. I mean, you have a bunch of great athletes on a lot of different teams, but a team is what it takes to be able to win a game.
Absolutely.
Right? But one game at a time. JC. I didn't know if you had another question before we go to break.
I don't.
Okay, so listen, I do want to say this, Coach. We know that game, the 40th annual Labor Day Classic, is now in the books. You came out on top. I know that people were at a point where they were challenged with the last minute, 6 seconds. They was just like, okay, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
When that penalty happened, I am not a pessimist. I am an optimist. I'm like, we can do this. I got to give you some credit, though. Drove the ball down the field. For whatever reason, the play clock was running down. They called, sometimes the adversity of a coach is also measured in his clock management.
Yeah.
You saw it. I don't think Cam, they were trying to get something adjusted from the outside looking in. They were trying to get something adjusted at the line, and we were all looking at that play clock and what? You call that timeout or somebody on the staff, and it saved a loss of yards.
Yeah, I pulled my quad.
Really?
I was trying to get down there.
Oh, no. Well, at least we don't. Okay.
Yeah. So here's what I tell referees before the game, because they always want to know who calls timeout. I waited my whole life to be a head coach. I'm calling these timeouts. You know what I mean? I always said, man, one of the things I'm going to do well when I'm a head coach, man, I'm going to call the timeout in one of the most dramatic ways.
I'm about to go back and see if I see you running.
Between throwing the review flag when they had that and calling timeout, that's my wheelhouse.
Okay,
because I don't do anything else as a head coach besides watch the game, right? No, we saw the clock winding down. We're trying to get some communication. They presented some different fronts. So the O-line was trying to get the front stuff structured. We saw the clock, man. We had 2 timeouts. We wanted to make sure we managed that
You
right.
managed it well. That worked out, and again, good clock management from the coach to being able to have the plays executed, to being able to get into the end zone on just, winning the game on the clock run out. I mean, I thought it was absolutely wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all hang tight right quick. We're going to definitely be back because we got a game coming up this week.
Absolutely.
And we need to talk about that because getting to the next opponent, taking it 1 week at a time, we stacking days. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all hold tight. We'll be right back.
What if you were expecting and got unexpected news? Your heart valve isn't working properly. Some propose an invasive open heart surgery, but your innovative Houston Methodist team has an alternative plan. They create a tiny incision to replace your heart valve and save 2 lives. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. For you. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Being a Panther means pushing past every limit on the field, on the court, and in the classroom.
Gifts to the Panther Athletic Fund help make that possible. From scholarships to equipment, your support fuels our success. Thank you to all the Panther Athletic Fund donors. Thank you for believing in us and supporting Panther Athletics.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. Listen, we have gotten some great info from Coach. It's good to be able to have it, something from his perspective. And I always say that, we're watching the game, but he's watching particular elements that we may not have picked up on. And this is what we get a chance to be able to hear him share. Now, Coach, I want to make sure we get a chance. We've handed you the iPad. Yep. We're going to definitely talk about some of these plays. This first score, if you just kind of push play on that, this first score, would you kind of take us through what was going on as this play is being curated?
Yeah, we got great red zone play here. We take a lot of pride in the red zone, which means when we're inside the 25-yard line about to score,
okay,
we want to be able to mix it up, run and pass. We had a good third down play where we released both tight ends off to one side, and they ended up losing. They went with the first tight end that crossed their face. They lost the second guy. And when we're that close to the end zone, we like to run a guy on the back line of the end zone. You kind of see it down on the goal line. Cam was able to scramble out, and he caught the back line runner, Keegan Heckelman, standing there wide open. Yeah.
And he kind of threw it back.
Yeah. It was really kind of an awkward throw.
It was kind of an awkward throw.
Yeah, because Cam's right-handed. He rolled out deeper to his left. And so he had to come back and get his mechanics right across his body, which normally you say don't throw the ball across your body.
Right.
But he was so wide open until we let him slide on that one.
Right. Exactly. Now, I'm going to tell you what was funny is that, I kind of went back and watched it, and the announcer was like, it would have been like coaches were like, no, yes.
That's it. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, so that was good. So the second touchdown.
Again, inside the 5-yard line now, man, when we get that close to the end zone, we want to run the football.
Right.
And so we take our old line takes a lot of pride in it. Those guys came off to the side and said, run it. We want to run it. If it was up to them, they would have ran it every play.
Okay.
But we were in the time where we felt like we had leaned on them a little bit, got the ball off of a big muff punt by them. Somebody touched it. We were able to come up off of it. So we scored a touchdown off a turnover, which is what you want to do.
That's what you want to do.
Brandon Campbell, we're in simple little power play. Brandon Campbell was able to. He's a bigger back.
I like him.
He's able to get thicker in the gap and get us in the end zone.
Yeah, Campbell runs the ball very, very well. Okay, so this is the second time we got in Texas Southern University inside of their 5-yard line, maybe around the 1 or 2 yard line.
Yep.
It's the second time. The second time now, what makes it different for them to be able to clog that hole up and get this safe?
Yeah, so the first time we moved the front, which allowed them to wash us down and still get some vertical movement, right? And create a lane for their back. And so the second time we got down, very rarely do you get down on the one, pin them back twice.
Right.
But our punter, Adam Atwell, did a really good job of pinning them inside the one. We just wanted to stay static and just let them play. And Malik Mason is a really big kid.
Malik Mason, that was his
really
name.
big D tackle.
Yes, he is.
He was able to win in the A gap and get a safety. Not everybody knew it was a safety. The referees took them a little bit to figure it out, but the players knew. And sometimes, man, we tell our players, if you start telling people what it is, they might just go with you.
That's right.
And so the players were saying safety, referees looking around, they finally saw it, and we got a big safety. And anytime we score on defense, your chances of winning go up. whether it's touchdowns or safeties.
Right.
Getting extra points that wasn't accounted for is a big deal.
Yeah, and it inspired the team.
Yeah.
So here's this last walk-off play.
Oh.
Talk to us.
Yeah, they sent a 6-man pressure, but the 6-man didn't go. And so they saw Rodney Ojo. We emptied out the backfield, that was Cam's idea. He had felt like that had been giving them some problems all night. So we emptied out the backfield, kind of got mixed up in communication for them. Rodney ended up bending back to the middle of the field. The guy that was supposed to go saw a wide open guy. So he just turned and ran with him. That's why when you see the pass, Rodney
It's
was
like
able
a
to,
back shoulder.
Yeah, he caught it on the back shoulder.
Yeah.
And the guy that was going with him didn't really know what he was supposed to be doing. And so that happens in football, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just happen to be on the other side of it. Early in the game, we was on their side of it,
Yes.
where we miscommunicated some things and turned the guy free. And so it's first game jitters. We were able to capitalize on it. And then, shout out to our quarterback and our receivers for saying, hey, let's be in this play.
Yeah.
We got a lot of confidence in this play. And then for our offensive coordinator to listen to him.
That's right.
Coaches really don't listen
part.
a lot, man. And so he did a really good job of putting us in a game-winning play.
Man, shout out to the coaches, shout out to the players for being able to see something and articulating it back to you, Coach. And shout out to Coach for listening.
Yeah.
Not too much of a thing, but that's a rarity, right? We're going to ride with that a little bit. JC.
Yeah, there's always a mental reset after an emotional game. What's your strategy for keeping the team emotionally hungry? Like, not getting too comfortable, but still keeping on for this next game to keep an undefeated season.
Yeah, so here's what I'm learning about being at Prairie View A&M as the head football coach. There's always something to play for, right? Last week it was a trophy, the battle for Houston. This week we're playing the FCS opponent in the Southland Conference. When we came here, we said we wanted to be an elite FCS school. Well, the only way to be elite FCS-wise is by beating other FCS people.
That's right.
And so what we try to do is when we come in there on Sunday and we put the game away, we want to put the game away.
Right.
And we want to start over on a fresh opponent. And then I know we'll get into this later, but when you cut the tape on and you see somebody that scored 66 points, it should be fairly easy for you to reset because these guys are coming in on a high note.
That's
so
right.
It'll be a great opponent for us. I'm proud of our players because they have been able to turn the corner. When you win the Labor Day Classic, there's all kind of videos. I was on my way here today. They're still doing videos. And I'm saying, man, it's hard for me,
Right.
let alone the players. But they've done a really good job. They've had a really good week of prep. We look forward to getting out there Saturday.
It's good. That's one question I was going to ask you is getting them ready for this next opponent and not carrying the high of the win from the past weekend too far into the middle of the week. Like, what is that like? And do you see some like delayed reactions?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the way we practice allows us not to have to deal with some of that. Man, we practice hard.
Yeah.
It's rough out there.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do it how we do it. And so for them to be able to flip, we tell them to treat compliments and criticisms the same.
That's right.
We won't know what we are until the end. So why try to figure it out right now?
That's right.
Let's just try to get better and better. And then we got so much to work on to get better at. Man, 15 penalties, we can't have that.
That's a lot of penalties.
We had some missed opportunities. We feel like we left 18 to 21 points out there.
Yeah.
We feel like they shouldn't have got 21 points.
That's right.
So how do you go back and fix those things to where people get what they earn and you make them earn less than what they got?
Right.
And so it's one of those things where we were able to make it about us because it always is about us. And our guys have done a good job of making sure they keep it about us.
So knowing that you had this many penalties in this game, and even though it was a win and we came out on the good side of things, how do you get them brought back in as far as the discipline? Because that's a discipline aspect, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Some of it is.
Okay.
Some of it is aggression.
Okay.
Man, listen, you play us, we're going to put you on the ground.
Yeah, I love it.
Some referees, they get caught off guard by that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's got to be a penalty.
Yeah.
Sometimes that thing is so loud until people think something is a penalty. And so what we had to do was we didn't go off on the sideline about penalties. I get mad about pre-snap penalties.
Got it.
Things that happen before the snap. We control that.
Gotcha.
That's where it's a lack of focus. But when you say discipline, we didn't have a personal foul. We didn't have a selfish, excessive celebration penalty. Those are undisciplined penalties, which we found some of that when we got here, right? We led the conference in personal fouls a year ago.
Yeah.
That wasn't good. And so we came here with an emphasis on not getting personal fouls. But when we went back and looked at the 15, 4 of them were pre-snap. That's all on us.
Okay.
But some of them were judgment calls, the pass interferences. Man, we put hands on receivers.
Got it.
We don't let just guys.
Active hands.
Yeah, this ain't in the league. They let you run routes
That's
on
right.
air. This ain't the league. This college football.
Right.
And so we got to figure out how we can coach the technique better. But we also got to do more research on who the referees are and what calls they make. They're part of the game. So we're finding out who these guys are and how they call the game. And so that we talked to the head of officials. Some things were, some things weren't.
Right.
Nothing we can do about it.
That's right.
And so we just try to coach it better on our end. And once we get the answers from the head of officials.
Trying to get a better outcome. Listen, y'all, hang tight a little bit. We're going to be back to talk to Coach about the upcoming opponent. And y'all do us a favor. Whatever you do, don't go anywhere. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Imagine you are her or him. Like everyone, a sprain, tear, or nagging ache can set you back. Until your expert orthopedic team at Houston Methodist uses advanced technology to personalize a treatment plan that's minimally invasive, heals your pain, and gets you back to life on your terms. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. For you. Houston Methodist. Leading medicine.
Welcome back to the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, y'all. We're back. Listen, I know that, Coach is probably biased and he thinks the entire team is absolutely wonderful. But I wrote a question, Coach. I want to make sure I give it to you. And one of those things that, especially, shout out to Dr. Cruz, because he was like, hey, man, don't forget to ask this question. I said, I got you, Cruz. Listen, the one thing I wanted to make sure I got a chance to ask you is, here's the thing. There are a lot of people on the team that did really well. There are some that may have done mediocre. It was a complete team effort. But the question I put down, thank you, JC. If you had to give the game ball to one unit, offense, defense, or special teams, who gets it and why?
I would give it to the offense.
Okay.
Because that poise moment at the end, working a 2-minute drill, having a similar situation on Thursday, running the drill the same way,
and then
managing it, and then it actually happening. Man, I thought they took the coaching to the game field and what we do in practice, and not often do you see it happen like that.
Right.
And so the offense, but it was a team win. But just the way they managed that last drive with poise and doing it together, that was pretty impressive.
Very impressive. And it works for them, too, because some of them don't know that when you actually do game, like, setups to be able to, predict, if we do this, we're going to do these drills. These drills will possibly happen. And then for it to happen and them to see it happen, this is one thing I noticed. They were extremely composed. Didn't seem, like, frazzled, overhyped. Very controlled. What
you should see them on Wednesday when we frazzle them on Wednesdays and Tuesdays.
Okay,
they ain't as composed on Tuesday and Wednesday. So when they get to Saturday, they've been hit over the head a few times. They call.
Okay, well they look very composed because at the end of the day, everybody's anxiety, the audience. Everybody that was there. I mean, just when they were driving that ball down the field and running out of clock, that was something to be, have anxiety, especially from your fans and everything.
Yeah, I told them, I said, my mama left the game. That TSU scored, my mama left. So my mama in timeout this week. She can't come back this week. Yeah, my mama tripping.
Hey, mama, you can't be tripping.
Yeah, my mama, how you see what happened? Because I left. You left. On me. And so, we had to put my mama in timeout. So I said, even when my mama left, y'all stayed in it. There was a lot of people left, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people said, they scored the touchdown. It never goes that way. But again, this team has been they've had an in spite of mentality, and they stay together, which is something that we preach with 73+ new people.
73
which
plus
is
new people.
Different deal. I was listening to a guy last week say, you can't win with all these new people, and I'm like, yeah, you can.
1-0.
Yeah, you can. You can.
We got more. JC.
Yeah, we understand that there's a personal connection between you and the UT, our GV head coach. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, Coach Bush, man, he's we've been in the profession about He's probably a couple of years older than me in the profession, but he's coached in the state of Texas pretty much his whole career. Been offensive coordinator here at U of H, Texas State, been at Sam Houston, kind of been all over the block. We've run into each other in recruiting a lot. I actually just got off the phone with him while I was coming over here. Just a really good coach. Father was a coach. He was a good high school coach in the state. And so when you're a Texan and you're part of Texas football, you just learn other football coaches.
Right.
He's got some coaches on his staff that my O-line coach from Valdosta State is his tight ends coach. My GA from Texas State is his DB coach. So we just got a lot of those connections when you play people that have been in the profession for a long time. And so really good, well-coached guy, had some really explosive offenses. I've been at UTSA, helped start the program at UTSA. Yeah. And so he's got some experience in starting programs. So it's going to be a really good opponent for us coming from the Southland Conference because we know how they're coached.
And this is a new program that they're in, right?
Absolutely.
It's a new program, so they have them in there. So let me ask you this. Does having that relationship change how you approach the game, or does it make it more competitive?
No, I mean, obviously, when I talked to him tonight, he said it'd be a good test for him, and I said it'd be a good test for us. And then we hung up the phone and told the truth to each other. Both of us trying to win. and you know, that's the love with our game,
that's
right?
Right. That's right.
We can be cordial. We can be professional.
That's right.
You know, I said last week, there's a decorum to coaching. I don't know where people think all the trash talk stuff, that doesn't happen amongst head coaches.
Right.
Not in college football.
Right.
And so in college football, what happens is what we did tonight. Coach, man, you got everything you need? Yeah, I'm good. Man, it's going to be a really good challenge. Yeah, it's going to be a really good challenge. And then when you go back to your staff, you go, man, we're trying to do something serious.
That's right.
And so, man, I appreciated him bringing us back to the decorum of coaching.
I love it.
Because that's what it's really about.
I love it. And I know that, you know, some people, you know, as fans of either institution, they want the competitive action, but we also make sure that we know that when we're competing and we're going against each other, I'm riding for my team.
Absolutely.
Afterwards, we go have a drink.
Absolutely.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm competing. We trying to come out on.
And listen, man, I'm telling you, these people are really good.
Yeah.
Like people go, anytime you score 66 points, I don't care who you play.
Yeah, right.
It's hard to score 66 points on air.
That's right.
So when you score it on somebody,
Right.
man, that's a lot. And then it creates a confidence
Yes.
that where you believe you're supposed to score 66 every time you walk out there.
Yeah.
And so, man, they've got really good facilities. I would challenge our fans to Google their facilities. Man, they did it the right way.
Wow.
There's nobody in the state that has facilities like these people.
Really?
Oh, man, they bought a soccer stadium. So imagine buying Shell Energy and making it theirs.
Wow.
I mean, they do it the right way, and they've got a really good environment. They're in Edinburgh, man. They sell out.
Yeah.
They do it the right way. They've got all the latest technology, and so they're not some expansion team that's looking for the number one pick, right? Like they got players.
That's right.
They're paying players. They jumped right in and opted in, and so they got a lot of things that some of us are still trying to get. And he was able to do it and put his stamp on it from the word say go, and so it makes it a little bit different.
So listen, so just so that you know, for those out there that are being passive and thinking that this is just a pushover win, coach is saying, no, let's pay attention. We coming in there and we are not playing with them. Yep. We're going to bring what we bring and we're going to deal with what we need to deal with. In the meantime, JC going to hit him with.
Yeah. What does it mean for two leaders who've come up through the same trenches to now meet on opposite sides of the sideline?
I think it just shows that the profession works. You come in, you work hard, you get promoted. Ultimately, other people notice your work. You just be where your feet are, and you can achieve the highest of our profession, which is being a head football coach in Division I. And you can even go higher than that if you continue to do those things. And so, man, Coach Bush has coached in the NFL. He's coached a lot of places. I have too. And to see us now competing against each other as head coaches on opposite sidelines, man, I remember when we both were running around as assistants at the convention trying to find people. Now people trying to find us. And so it just shows you how the profession can work. But it also shows how you can create other opportunities that were created for you for somebody else. When you look at our staffs and how good of a job I think both staffs do, you're creating opportunities for those guys to become future head coaches as well. And it's a humbling seat to be in.
Let me ask you this, Coach, and this is before we go to our break. I just really want to know, knowing that you've watched this film on UT Rio Grande Valley, Are there any type of matchup changes you had to make based on what you saw?
Yeah.
And it relegates to some people that were possibly starting having to kind of move some pieces around in order to fit what you saw.
Yeah, I just think schematically we had to do some things different to address the concerns, right? They've got a guy number 4. Man, this dude is listed as 5'6", but I bet you he's 5'5", but he's also probably 4'2" in the 40. Like, this guy can go.
Wow.
And I don't think we've seen that type of speed that he has. And he's got a quarterback that can put it on the money. The quarterback only missed 2 passes last week.
Wow.
He was a lot for a lot. You know, those guys that he made some plays. And so we've got to make sure that we're in the right situation.
Yeah.
And then defensively, we don't know what they're going to present to us because we saw such a different offense from their opponent. We don't do what their offense did. So we have yet to see them on what they would do versus a normal offense,
Right.
Because they didn't see one last week. So we tried to find video from when this guy was at this place and this guy was at this place. It's really like game 1 all over again.
Wow.
Because we don't really know a lot about them.
That's right. That's right. And they don't have much tape at all.
Absolutely.
Wow. You can only go over that. Listen, y'all, it's the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Prairie View A&M University, excellent. Just a word, it's our legacy. A legacy nearly 150 years in the making. You see it in our nationally ranked programs, groundbreaking research, and in our nearly 90,000 proud alumni transforming communities across the globe. Prairie View A&M University. Changemakers are bred here. Pioneers emerge here. Excellence lives here. Your brilliance belongs here. Start your journey at pvamu.edu.
Welcome back to the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thanks again to our sponsors, Mustang Cat and Houston Methodist, for making this show possible. Shout out to Bar 5015, too, for allowing us to be able to use their space to do something absolutely wonderful. Also, too, I want to make sure people know that at the game this Saturday, a home game at Panther Stadium, I want to make sure y'all get a chance to be out there and listen. It's going to be gold night. And I know gold can mean so many different things. Make sure you stay as far away as you can from yellow.
Yes.
Yellow is yellow, but the gold night where you go, come gold it up, do what you need to do, you solid gold, all you need to do. Also, too, it is Greek night, so shout out to all the Greeks, Divine Nine in the building. Sure you do that. That is, you right. But listen, I want to make sure all the Greeks, y'all show up, show out. Get your tickets if you hadn't already got it. And then shout out, too, I just read that we got 1,000 season passes that have been sold.
Absolutely.
And we need to continue selling those, all right?
Yeah.
So y'all make sure y'all continue to be able to get them, and we want to make sure we do that. Now, this next segment is kind of cool because we wanted to do something where we got some live audience Q&A. So we had, Ms. Thurston and Dr. Cruz to be able to get some of this Q&A from our audience out here. And we're going to make sure we do it. Jason, you want to go and start with one for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, this weekend is the first home game, and we saw some clips of you in the MSC with the bullhorn. What else has the athletic department done to encourage students to get out to the games?
Yeah, I think the game has been marketed for a long time. When school started, we were able to get in front of the students. We've been to the SGA.
Right.
AD Goff and I, Dr. Williams and our staff, we tried to connect with all students in all forms, just to try to get them hip to, hey, this is what we want this thing to look like. But you're right. We went through the MSC today. We had a bullhorn. Start saying, come to the game.
Right.
Get them crunk.
Because people can talk about season tickets, but we need students.
Right.
We need students to be loud. We need students to tear the place up and to really create that environment. And if our students don't do that, then we don't have a great environment.
That's right.
But I believe our students will, because a lot of them today told us that they were going to be there.
Right.
Yeah, don't wait until things are really good to be bandwagoners.
Right.
I always say, listen, either you're a trendsetter or you're a trend follower. Figure out which one you're going to be. Shout out to all the students. Get there, have that student section lit up. Do what you need to do, but make sure you bring your loudest voice you can to be able to cheer for our Panthers on to another win. Here's another question from the audience, Coach. Against TSU, we only registered 2 TFLs and no sacks. Do you feel this lack of negative plays created are an issue for the defense? If so, or if not, how do you increase those numbers with the 3-man front?
Yeah, so we're always looking to increase those numbers. We call it a havoc rating, where we talk about TFL, sacks, quarterback hurries, no gains, things of that nature. And so we always want to take a look at it. But when you look at their offensive production, they really didn't have very much. We care more about third down. We care more about red zone defense than we do. We certainly, I'm a D-line coach by trade.
That's right.
We want sacks.
Right.
But if we don't get them, we want to make sure that they're not getting yards, they're not getting first downs, which we were able to keep them under 300 yards. And today in college football, you keep somebody to 264 yards of total offense.
That's right.
You're
Speaks
playing
volume.
pretty good defense.
That's right. And getting the ball back. That is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, JC. You have another?
Yeah, Coach, what have you guys done specifically this week to address the penalties, especially the holding calls?
Yeah, so I got a little official's hat on my desk, and we wore it, and we called out every penalty. We addressed it as a staff. You know, we want to make sure if we think it's a penalty that we call it out. We coach that guy right then and there, not wait to get in the meeting room, coach him right then and there on what he did wrong, because the penalty gets called right then and there. Right. And so we really went overboard, in my opinion, in making sure we address that. Again, I think that was really excessive. I don't believe you'll see that from us again. Hopefully not. But we're going to continue to play an aggressive style of football.
Listen, I want to make sure I give another question now this one came from I don't know, the people were DMing me. I'm like, I guess because I sit next to you now. They DM me asking like, hey, can you do us a favor and ask Coach, why aren't the names on the back of the jerseys?
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because not only did they DM, they sent some emails to the higher-ups too.
Did they?
Yeah.
Come on, alumni.
And I'll be really honest. When I got the job here, I asked what one of the issues were. I said, what are the issues here? Somebody said, well, I think we're undisciplined. I said, well, we're undisciplined. You got the right guy. And so one of the things about when somebody says you're undisciplined, there's probably a lot of selfishness involved too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't care about the name on the back of the jersey. We cared about more of the name on the front of the jersey. And so I told the players that, hey, man, for a while, we're going to rock with just the name on the front. Prairie View A&M gave us all an opportunity, myself included, our staff included. We need to do better for Prairie View A&M. And I think our alums and our fans need to do better for Prairie View A&M too, instead of worrying about the name on the back of their jersey. And if we all did that, we all might see Prairie View A&M be an elite school like it should be. And so that's where we are right now with our football program. It ain't about your name on the back. That's right. It's about who we came here to play for and the guy next to you. If we were going to put a name on the back, it'd be somebody else's name, because it's about people within our collective and how we're trying to get done. I think our world needs to get that right.
Yeah,
and
I like the philosophy.
Yeah, I mean.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I hope that answers y'all's questions. And stop emailing.
And then buy some jerseys.
And buy some
jerseys. We put on there whatever you want to put on
there. That's
right.
Put your last name on the back of it. At the end of the day, y'all, the greatest thing in the world, he has a philosophy. He's trying to be able to see it through. He said we got a dogmatic, attitude with it. Matter of fact, your acronym's DOG. What did you have it? What did your acronym stand for?
Discipline, obedience, and grit.
Discipline, obedience, and grit.
Now turn dog around.
God.
Yeah. So that's why we call our players dogs.
That's it.
Because they understand that God is in the center of it all.
I love it. So let me tell you something. To know the philosophy, JC. Yeah. That's the philosophy. Don't ever stop it. I'm telling you.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I love it. This is why you have such a wonderful coach. Great questions from our Panther Nation, y'all. Keep that same energy, because we're going to definitely do that each week. Coach, before we close, we already gave a little message to our alumni and fans, but I want to know, what's your direct message to the fans ahead of this weekend's matchup in our home stadium? What do you want them to bring to Panther Stadium?
Yeah, every morning you wake up, you get a choice and a chance, right?
Choice and a chance.
And so we have a choice that we need to make as an alumni base, that we're going to come support this football program in Panther Stadium, regardless of who we're playing.
That's right.
Regardless of if we've heard of that team or not, regardless of if it's homecoming or not. And we have a chance to show people that we can be an elite FCS program.
That's right.
So we got a choice and a chance. Make the choice to come support these guys at every home game. Take the countdown clocks down for homecoming.
Come on now.
Come to the home game.
Come on, have a countdown clock for the next
for
game.
this one right here.
That's right.
And then make a choice. We got a chance to make us be really elite, which we can do some really good things. Prairie View is full of productive people.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And so we need to make sure that we show the football world who we are and not just on homecoming.
I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, two types of people in the world. Doers and sayers. People that do never say, and people that say, you know the rest. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, kickoff is near. Let's show up and show out in our purple and gold this Saturday, 6 p.m. in Panther Stadium. Don't forget to wear your Greek apparel. I want to see all the dogs, the AKAs, our deltas, just everybody on campus. Make sure you guys come up and show out this Saturday.
Get your goal, get your goal, get your goal. Listen, once again, y'all, thanks to Mustang Cat and Houston Methodist. Big shout out to 5015, boy 5015, for being able to help make this show possible as well. Be sure to do us a favor, y'all. Go subscribe to PBAMU Athletics. That's the YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe when you watch the show. Make sure you share it. Make sure you do your comments. At the end of the day, we are reading those comments. We want to hear from you. Continuously be able to spread it out. I always say stop spreading negative energy and spread something positive. Right now, Prairie View A&M University football is before you, led by the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show and Tremaine Jackson himself. Whatever you do, don't do nothing we wouldn't do. Do everything we would. We'll see y'all next week.
Go Panthers.
University athletics.
How we compete, how we graduate, and how we show up in our community.
Your gift to the Panther Athletic Fund makes it all possible, from scholarships to equipment, academics, and recruitment.
Join us, help us build champions, help us build championship culture, and give today.